Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're gonna talk about Juno. This is a request also. So you know who you are. I'm gonna keep everybody anonymous, you know, but you know who you are now. Juno. Juno, the asteroid Juno. Now this is what we need to understand about asteroids in general, because asteroids a lot of times play a more impact on your life than actual planets, because they're a lot closer, they're a lot sharper, and they're like objects. But a lot of times, a lot of asteroids may not appear as objects yet. Asteroids play a lot like oversouls. A lot of asteroids are oversouls. You know what I'm saying? The moon. It was a time that people thought the moon was an asteroid. You see what I'm saying? But asteroids, to know these natures of asteroids, you got to understand that it's a little closer and some is a little further away, and a lot of them share a lot of energies between two planets, because asteroids get birthed by planets. So asteroids are like little baby oversouls. You know what I'm saying? And they can come into a lot of different ways. They get birthed through a lot of other different star dusts and shit that accumulate and comes together and formulate and take shape and form based upon rotations that they're under at the moment. But you know, asteroids play a significant part is because they're the result of the relationship between planets and suns. You know what I'm saying? When planets fuck and this, that, and the third, asteroids are the result of these things. And even asteroids, even sometimes, have came from a lot of travels where they have relationships with planets. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a long myth that Juno was in a relationship with Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? And then once you correlate the energies of how things are expressed, you can tell what's a male or female, because you can know what's carrying out certain frequencies. If you understand astrology and you really understand vibration, you could be able to understand what's male and female, because you have male and female traits within you. You have a frequency and a vibration within you. You have a spirit that then turned into a soul also. The spirit gets feminine when it goes into a soul. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts to experience. So this is how you know the difference. You know the difference when something is working out in the totality of a frequency, or something working out in the totality of a vibration. So when you look at planets like Jupiter, Jupiter is about wisdom, knowledge. It's the experience that you're having, but the experience that is going to give you is going to involve into wisdom and knowledge, or meanings of reasonings. Meanings of reasonings and wisdom and knowledge is dealing more with a frequency, dealing more with an idea, dealing more with philosophy. It's dealing more with so it's dealing more with trying to logically understand right brain shit. So this, Jupiter plays more of the characteristics of male. You know what I'm saying? Even though the planets themselves have male and female, certain planets take characteristics of one or the other, and they want to be that energy, because sometimes they cling on their past bodies, their past vessels. They may have been in a lower vessel, they may have been in a human vessel and walked the earth at one point in time, and they shared most of their frequency vibrations and resonated more with the male attributes of their being. You know what I'm saying? So if there was a man when they walked the earth, when they ascend and go to a planet, they don't want to go too much into their feelings. They still learning themselves. You know what I'm saying? So before it can become a son, or before it can have thousands of experiences as being an oversoul in a planet, you know what I'm saying? It has to learn how to come one between itself then. But until then, it might be in a level of existence and experience right now of still clinging on to his male traits, his male attributes. So that's why Jupiter likes to come and take forms of Zeus and take forms of all these things of that nature. But that lets you know it's dealing with the male frequency because of the energy it's carrying. Now, when you look at Juno, Juno is carrying a female energy, because Juno is representing longevity. Is dealing with relationships. It's dealing with the energetic force that bind relationships together. So this is like an asteroid, or like a spirit in the astral plane, right? That's going around accumulating things, but with the sole purpose of accumulating things to bring things together. So this is actual travels. It likes to travel and collect things, and then on its travels collect other things to connect with the things it has, not just make something a part of what it actually already is. So for the most part, this is how you gotta understand. Oh, so I gotta make this real quick. Hold on one second. Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, make some moves real quick. But yeah, you know, but talking about talking about Venus, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not Venus, but Jupiter, and being in a situation where we can talk about um, Juno is representing the feminine energy because it's dealing with longevity and connectiveness and being apart and you know what I'm saying, feeling in the vibrations that it's in. So at the same time, we want to talk about. And I'm doing this right now, so I don't be scratching my scalp. You know, I put this whole pocket do this. Ah. So I have to fuck my shit up. You know what I'm saying? Ah. Just scratching my damn scalp and shit. But at the same time, you know, dealing with motherfucking Juno, um, it's more feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? So Juno is going to play out in your life where you look at things as longevity. You look at having a long connection with it, a long marriage with it. Because when we talk about marriage, we can't just talk about relationships between two people. We have to talk about your like career and things, what you're married to, what you're obligated to. You know what I'm saying? The things you like, you got people who use this metaphor to say they married to the streets and married things like that. This goes more up into that nature. This goes more into the nature of connectiveness from a degree of uh, connecting one thing that you have in your life and having another thing and seeing how they can bridge together in some type of way. So either it's you bridging yourself with something else, or is you trying to bridge two things together. And whatever house this in, that's the area of life that's going to play out, and whatever sign Juno is in, that's how it's going to play out. For an example, you have Juno on the fire sign. You may try to cling on or look at something in the spirit realm, or you may try to attach yourself to one of your visions. And you know what I'm saying? And you might have this vision that you see yourself doing longevity, and you keep putting your energy and pay attention to that and want to express yourself in that nature fully. When you talk about Juno on the earth, Juno, it may be something that you see practically doing, or something that's in reality, or something that's material that you see yourself doing, or a job that you see yourself doing longevity. You know what I'm saying? And see yourself married to that, and see yourself holding and clinging on to that, and seeing that for your whole life, and things of that nature, which you want to participate in. Anytime you got Juno in a water sign, Juno is water. What happened right here is something emotionally that you want to do, connect to, or something that, or it's a certain feeling that you may have got or not experienced yet, and then and then that feeling always spark inside you, and this is something that you want to cling on to. So that feeling or emotion may play out through a person, place, or thing, but this would be the representation of something you see yourself attaching to longevity. You see what I'm saying? In some type of way. And the house that is in, that's Juno in, is going to tell you what area of life that may play out. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's the fourth house, maybe something in the home, or something that's dealing with family or private or domestic issue. If it's the fifth house, it may be something you do creatively. It may be something, the way you express yourself or you're entertained by. If it's in the seventh house, it might be dealing with your relationships in some type of way, or how you relate to people, places, and things, or who you in a relationship with. You see what I'm saying? If it's in the eighth house, it might be something that you deeply desire, something that you're willing to transform. You know what I'm saying? If you got Juno in an air sign, then it's something that's dealing with communication, thinking, or analyzing, or something that's dealing with the social awareness, or something, or an idea that you have that you want to cling on to, and you see it being longevity. You see what I'm saying? What house that's in is going to let you know what house it might. If it's in the 11th house, it's something that you socially want to connect to in the public in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Or dealing with the unknown and unfamiliar. We know the unknown is dealing with science, astrology, occult, mysticism. You know what I'm saying? Technology, science. When you talk about the unfamiliar, that's dealing with aunts, uncles, grandfathers, grandmothers, cousins, associates, people you may or may not know, people you hang with every other day, not every day, associates, and how you conduct yourself in the public arena. You see what I'm saying? If you got Juno on air, you know what I'm saying, you know you're going to want to cling to an idea, some type of information that you have just received, or something like that, or something you have analyzed, or something you was curious about that just intrigued you. You want to cling on to it. Now, having Juno on air, and say you got Juno in the 10th house, you want to be going to want to communicate or be socially aware of something that's dealing with status, or something that's dealing with what you're known for, or how you're seen, or something that can develop a career. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be the things that you want to analyze and come up with ideas to cling on to. And it might be in a career mechanism. If it's in the 9th house and you have Juno in the air, it'll be in the education sector, So you want to analyze and get social aware on something that's dealing with broad philosophy or education or long distance travel or meaning or reasoning in some type of way. So you see what I'm saying? Juno is a feminine energy. It wants to connect and be a part. You know, the feminine energy wants to play the supportive system. It wants to absorb. It wants to receive. And wants a sense of direction. And wants to feel courage to have enough strength to be able to follow and be the supporting system and the supporting cast for the actual mechanism that is following. So that's how Jupiter plays out in people's life. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. Goddamn. Air. Do 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 do. Ah!